It's Friday. Greetings. Blessed rise and shine. Happy Friday. Yeah. A message to you, my friend. Thanks for liking the video. Greetings. We're going to get started. How is everybody doing? Hey. Yes, here we are on a Friday. This is Power of the Servant. That's the name of this Giving Thanks episode. Power of the Servant. Yes. Oop, you're gonna get squeezed again. You gotta move from there. I got my dog with me today, and he's getting squeezed in the chair. You're gonna lay down and relax. Greetings, everyone. Here we go. Thank you so much for joining. This is Giving Thanks. We are live, and this is the day that righteousness has made. We're going to give thanks for this day because it is Friday. For those of you who don't have to work tomorrow or Sunday, it's probably a good day for you too. However, we are in the book of Mark for our Bible challenge. Those of you who are in the Bible challenge with me, we finished Matthew yesterday. And let me tell you, we finished Matthew yesterday, and the lesson I got from Matthew, my daughter, I spoke to her on the phone this rise, and my daughter had an encounter at Marshall's, okay? She had an encounter at Marshall's department store and wasn't treated right by the same people that look like her. She wasn't treated the same as someone white, in other words. And I told her the story of Jesus and Peter. Remember, Peter gave him up. And Jesus said, you're going to deny me 3 times. Look, bro, you're going to do that. And Peter said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I love you, man. You're my bro. You're my da-da-da. And he did. He gave him up. And there's one part of the story where a woman comes to him and said, you don't know that dude? You don't know that dude? We see you with him. You all talk in the same accent. You all look the same. You don't know. And he was like, no, I don't know him. He denied Jesus 3 times. My point is, your own people are going to deny you. Okay? They're going to deny you. They're going to sell you out, as Judas Iscariot did to Jesus. He sold him out for 30 pieces of silver. Okay? Marcus Garvey was sold out by his own people. Yeah. Malcolm X was shot down by his own people, who was paid off by, whatever. So we see this in the stories of time ago, right? And Camden, thanks for joining. We don't use those kinds of language on this episode of Giving Thanks. Power of the servant is the message today. So if you're not here for positive words, you need to exit through the door. Okay? We are going to get started. But I wanted to preface this because there's power within you as a servant of righteousness. And my daughter, instead of reacting in negative ways, she put the items down and she said, thank you, but no thank you, and have a blessed day. She said to them, have a blessed day. But when you're not being serviced correctly or respected correctly or valued correctly, you have to hold on to righteousness, the power of the servant of righteousness, to walk away so you can fight again another day. Walking away with love. Leaving that behind you as you walk away will follow you through your day. Okay? So that I had to preface with that first. So let's get into it. Are we ready? How are you feeling today, Rebecca? Thank you, Sean Nugan. Hi from Gainesville, Virginia. Hell is low. We don't want to go. We use the words as my friend in Alabama, wonderfully, her granddaddy said to her, would wake her up in the rise and shine. Okay? So rise and shine to you all out there. Thank you for joining and thank you for liking this video. Thank you also for tuning in because we're going to get started with our verse of the day. You want to hear the verse of the day? Who wants to hear the verse of the day? Oh my goodness.
Verse of the day.
Let's hear the verse of the day.
Verse of the day.
I gotta get my water.
Verse of the day. Verse of the day.
So our verse of the day today, let's take a seat. Everybody sit. You need to sit too. Sit. There you go. So our verse of the day today, let me check it out. What is our verse of the day today? It's coming from, and I saw it it comes on my phone every day, so let's get it here. Another Proverbs chapter 19. Oh my goodness, Proverbs chapter, did I leave my juice? I think I did. Oh gosh, I think I left my smoothie juice. Let me text and see. So our verse of the day is coming from Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20 to 21. And Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20 to 21 starts off with listen. Okay. Hi Bella. Hi Frida93. Thanks for joining. The verse today is coming from Proverbs. Remember I said that Proverbs needs to be its entire manual, like a life guide for life. Proverbs, the book of Proverbs needs to be that. So in the book of Proverbs today, our verse of the day is coming from, it talks about listen to advice. Someone gave me some advice. Yesterday they said, don't go back to someone that hurt you. You've come too far to do that. Like, don't go back. And I said, I don't go back, I go forward. But this verb, the proverb, because it's proverb, meaning pro-action. You got to do it. It's got to be, it's action. So it's a proverb. A verb is an action word, right? And pro means for, right? So for action to happen, this is what Proverbs is telling us. So listen to advice and accept discipline. Accept discipline. And at the end, you will be counted among the wise. You will be counted among the wise. So many are the plans in a person's heart. Like in my heart, I got all these plans. I want to do this. I got all this in my heart. I want this. I want this. However, the plans in a person's heart belongs to righteousness. Okay, righteousness. And that righteousness's purpose is going to prevail. In your heart, you might, have plans to do this, this, and this. However, righteousness's purpose is what's going to prevail. And you can't be mad and upset that it didn't go the way you wanted it to go. It's going the way that righteousness is going to have it to go. That is the Lord's purpose. Righteousness. The purpose of God, the purpose of Jesus, the purpose of all of this religiosity that people are, living about is for righteousness. It's supposed to be. Anyway, it's supposed to be for righteousness. So when you see people who are religious, but then they're discriminating, like a woman told me, she said, I'm not renting to you because your lifestyle is not accepted to my God. And I was like, what kind of God do you serve? You serve a God that discriminates? You're like the slave master then. You're in that discriminatory place. What's happening? So righteousness is what is going to prevail, and that is our verse today. Proverbs chapter 19, rather, I stand corrected. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20 to 21. Okay, that is our verse today. Let's go now to our word of the day. Our word of the day. Our word of the day.
It's the word of the day.
What is the word of the day?
It's the word of the day. It's the word of the day. It's the word of the day. Word of the day. Word of the day.
The word of the day today is being brought to us by Proverb. Yay! The word of the day today is brought to us by Proverbs again, but this is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. So in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6, it speaks about trust in righteousness with all your heart, like trust in the goodness, the mercy, the love, the kindness, and do not rely on your own insight, your own heart, like what our verse today talks about, many of the plans in a person's heart. However, it is the Lord's purpose that prevails, and that purpose is righteousness. Same way here. Trust in that righteousness with all your heart and don't rely on your own insight. Okay? In all your ways, acknowledge righteousness, acknowledge the goodness and grace, acknowledge, and that goodness and grace and righteousness will make straight your paths. It's not going to be crooked, bumpy on this kind of situation. It's going to be straight paths, the straight and narrow, right? So the word today is brought to us by Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. And what is the word today? From listening to that scripture sponsoring the word today, what is our word? Guidance. Guidance is our word today. Guidance. I welcome divine guidance. Guidance. Remembering times when I chose an unlikely path, followed a far-fetched dream, or went out on a limb, I can see the role divine guidance played. This divine guidance, the whisper of God within me. Okay? That's why Jesus was crucified, because he was talking about looking within. And the powers that be at that time were like, we don't want you looking within. We want you looking at us, because we're going to make you slaves to our philosophies and indoctrinations. So the guidance, divine guidance, is a whisper of that righteousness within you, where you can have a knowledge of all I need is the goodness that's within. Whatever I don't have from outside, I still have the goodness within. So the guidance, divine guidance, thanks for liking the video. Divine guidance, the whisper of God within me, can feel downright implausible. Okay? Let's find out what implausible means. Implausible is not seeming reasonable or probable, failing to convince. So that's what that means. It may not seem reasonable, right? I may wonder, how could I possibly do that? Like, how can I possibly create this app that's going to revolutionize the way children are cared for? How can I possibly do that? And yet I go forth and do what seems impossible. Having faith means trusting God, trusting righteousness. And that faith without works of action, as Proverbs tells us to do, listen to advice, accept discipline. Having faith is about that. It's about listening to advice. It's about accepting discipline. Relying upon divine guidance means trusting myself. Trust yourself. People put their trust in other people. They put their trust in nations and governments and all this other thing, but they fail to trust themselves and wonder why their life has turned south. Trust yourself. The direction I feel deep within, the ideas, the nudges of intuition telling you, wait a minute, they're cheating on me. That type of nudge of intuition, the serendipitous happenings, things that happen like, oh my goodness, how did that happen? All of that comes from being still, that my still small voice, the presence of righteousness within me, reveal things to me. So when you put inside yourself good words, good food, good thoughts, you're going to have outcomes that's going to be positively productive, because you are listening and accepting the presence within you. Knowing this, I need not fear or doubt my guidance. I wanted to go somewhere for my birthday. I wanted to go somewhere. I was, and God's guidance said, no, be still. I cried. I was crying. Knowing the guidance is there, I didn't need to be afraid or doubt my guidance. I needed to trust in that God, righteousness, and believe in myself. Believe in myself. So the word today is significantly aligned with our theme of the power of the servant, because the power of the servant is reflected in the book of Mark in our Bible challenge. As we look at the book of Mark real quick, we're 20 minutes in and we are already finished the word today guidance and our verse today about listening to advice. When someone gives you advice, listen. Okay? That's God talking. God uses people in mysterious ways to tell you certain things. Are you going to listen to advice? So, in the Bible challenge, the power of the servant, the book of Mark's unadorned opening to his account. The beginning of the good news about Jesus, the Messiah, the Son of God, introduces the tone of Mark's entire book. Okay, succinct to the point, just as the tone and behavior of the active servant his book portrays. For this is the story of Jesus Christ, the perfect servant. Over and over, Mark uses the word immediately to accelerate the pace of events in the book. He omits details of Christ's genealogy and childhood and plunges immediately into Christ's public ministry in the region of Galilee. So in chapter 1 of Mark, we have the preparation of the servant, preparing the servant. Chapter 2, we have power and preaching of the servant, the Son of Man. Then we have chapter 3 for today, October 10th, opposition of the servant, Son of God. So we have the beloved Son, then we have the Son of Man, and then we have the Son of God. So do you have a balanced view of Jesus Christ? Through the centuries, Christians have wrestled with the incarnation of Jesus Christ, trying to describe adequately that unique blend of perfect humanity and undiminished deity that Jesus possessed. Some Christians emphasize Jesus' deity, focusing on the attributes and actions that could only belong to God, forgetting that Jesus ate, slept, and wept like other men. Others focus on Jesus' humanity, neglecting the many things Jesus did that only God could do. So today's reading portrays both attributes of Jesus, Jesus' deity, healing the sick and casting out demons, in Jesus' humanity, all right, rising early the next morning to pray. With this final example, Mark alerts his readers at the very beginning of the book to the power behind Jesus' ministry. What about you? Are you engaged in a busy schedule of ministry for God? Are you taking the necessary time in preparation first and communication? When Jesus needed to communicate to God, how can we expect to minister effectively without communication to God? So I have a great need for Christ, for righteousness. I have a great righteousness for my need. So what is the insight today in our Bible challenge? Read real authority. Who has real authority? Okay, the ICE agents can come in here and take me away. all these authority, the powers that be can lock the door, I can't get in, right? Who got real authority? Mark quickly establishes the fact that Jesus came in authority. In just 2 chapters, Mark records that Jesus has demonstrated power and authority in teaching righteousness over demons, over diseases, over uncleanness, over sin, over white supremacy, over oppression, and as overseer of the law. Later, Jesus will even demonstrate authority over the laws of nature. So when we look at the book of Mark, and I have my ministry class tomorrow, I'm so excited. My ministry class is tomorrow. And I'm in a ministry class. I'm a student of the scripture. So when I look at the Bible challenge today with Mark chapter 1, verse 7 and 8 says, "And this was John's message. After me comes the one more powerful than I, the straps of whose sandals I am not worthy to stoop down and untie. I baptize you with water, but he will baptize you with the fire." The sacred righteousness that's been purified in the fire 7 times. So when you use words, think about the words you're using, purify them in the fire 7 times before you open your mouth. Think about the words you're speaking because they are power behind the tongue. John the Baptist prepares the way, okay, in chapter 1 of Mark. So in the Bible challenge, we're just reading chapter 1 and 2 of Mark. If you want to go on into chapter 3 for tomorrow, be my guest. Chapter 1 of Mark looks at the baptism and testing of Jesus. It looks at Jesus announces the good news. It doesn't say bad news, it says good news. Hi, Janine. Jesus drives out an impure spirit because we have spirits that are not pure. That's why I use the word righteousness, because spirit can mean good or bad. So I'm just going to go hit the one word, one sound, one power, righteousness. Jesus heals many, okay? He communicates to God in a solitary place. Very early in the rise, while the rise was still void of light, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place. That's what you got to do sometimes. You got to walk away, go to a solitary place, and communicate with God. Yesterday I was walking my dog. We were in a nice little solitary place and I was talking to God. I was like, please help my son. He's being disrespectful. I need you. Simon and Simon's companions went to look for Jesus. They're like, where you going? And when they found Jesus, they exclaimed, "Bro, everyone is looking for you." Jesus replied, look. When they found him, they were like, "Everybody looking for you. Where are you going?" Jesus replied, "Let us go somewhere else, to the nearby villages, so I can preach there also. That is why I have come." So Jesus traveled throughout Galilee, preaching in the synagogues and driving out demons. Okay, it didn't say it said the synagogues. sin is in the synagogues. I am not anti-Semitic. Do not flag me for no anti-Semitism, because it's not about that. This is revealing that there are demons in the synagogues, and Jesus had to drive them out. That's why the Jews don't acknowledge Jesus like that, because they drove them out. The real Jews are the Falasha Jews in Ethiopia. Okay, they're the real Jews. We're the real Jews. I celebrate my New Year in September, just like the Jews do. My New Year is September 11th. I celebrate September 27th as the Mezcal, the finding of the true cross of Christ. And, you know, my New Year already came in September. People are going to be getting ready for the New Year in January. That's their thing. I don't follow that. So if people want to do that, they do that by themselves. I'm going to go to a solitary place like Jesus did. And I'm going to drive the demons out. You got to go outside and poop, Bobby? Okay, I'm going to take you. My office hours, though. Wait. I got to get my office hours open. So that is our time, y'all. Read up on Mark, and we're going to meet up again another day. Thanks for joining. And remember to stand in love and call. Say good.